Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down a really foundational force, one that has shaped some of the most important people in history: mentorship. It's that powerful catalyst that often works behind the scenes, turning raw talent into, well, true greatness. So let's get right into it. So think about it for a second. What makes someone not just brilliant, but legendary? We usually talk it up to pure genius or maybe just insane amounts of hard work. But is that really the whole story? What's that hidden variable that separates the amazing from the truly unforgettable?
Well, it turns out that more often than not, the answer is the influence of a guide, a mentor. And this isn't just some nice-to-have bonus. This relationship can be the core thing that defines the entire path of a person's life and their legacy.
And that's why we're calling it the greatness X factor. Because, a mentor doesn't just teach you stuff. They can literally alter your course, rocket fuel your growth, and help shape the very impact you end up having on the world.
So, what makes this relationship so incredibly powerful? It's not just about getting some good advice over coffee, right? There's actually some pretty fascinating science that explains the mechanics of how and why mentorship is just so effective.
Okay, so it all starts with something called social learning theory. This is the idea that we learn best by, watching a master at work. It's all about absorbing that unspoken wisdom, that tacit knowledge that you just can't get from a textbook. You're learning how to think, how to solve problems, how to handle yourself, just by watching an expert in action.
And then you've got social capital theory. Now, this one is huge. This is where a mentor basically hands their mentee a backstage pass to their entire professional world. They open doors to opportunities, to resources, and to influential people that otherwise would be totally out of reach. And finally, there's the psychosocial side of things. See, mentors provide this safe space where you can explore who you are and what you want to be. This kind of guidance builds the confidence and the sense of purpose you need, not just to succeed, but to eventually feel that fire to guide the next generation yourself, keeping the whole cycle going. Okay, so we've got the theory down on why it works, but how do mentors actually do it on a practical level? Let's break down the 5 essential tools they use. So let's look at this toolkit. First, they transfer real practical skills and knowledge. Second, they teach you how to navigate all the unwritten rules and, the politics of your field. Third, they become your sponsor, actively fighting for you and creating opportunities. Fourth, they give you that absolutely crucial emotional support to help you build resilience. And finally, they help ground you with a solid ethical compass. It's really a complete, holistic kind of guidance. Now, this is where it gets really cool. Let's see how this all plays out in the real world by looking at some of history's most powerful and game-changing mentorships. I mean, just look at Socrates and Plato. This is social learning theory in its purest form. Socrates didn't just lecture Plato. He taught him an entirely new way to think through constant questioning. Plato absorbed this method so deeply that after Socrates was gone, he built his academy around it, making sure it would shape Western thought for thousands of years. Or how about in the art world, Leonardo da Vinci's genius was absolutely nurtured in the workshop of his mentor, Andrea del Verrocchio. This is a perfect example of social capital. That workshop wasn't just a studio, it was an innovation hub. Verrocchio gave Leonardo access to everything: sculpture, engineering, anatomy, which is what allowed him to become the polymath we know today. And in the world of politics, Nelson Mandela was deeply, profoundly shaped by his mentor, Walter Sisulu. Sisulu's guidance was a masterclass in psychosocial development. He helped turn Mandela from a fiery young activist into the strategic, visionary leader who could navigate the incredible challenges of the anti-apartheid movement and become this global symbol of reconciliation. And our last example here is this incredible blend of mentorship and partnership. Pierre Curie saw Marie's brilliance and became her sponsor. He gave her access to a lab, to resources, and an intellectual partnership that was so critical in her early career. Their collaboration built the foundation that let her smash through massive societal barriers and make discoveries that literally changed the world. So what all these examples really show is that the story doesn't just stop with the mentee. The impact of great mentorship creates this powerful chain of influence, a ripple effect that spreads across generations. And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? A mentor's true legacy isn't just about what they did themselves. No, it's measured by the combined achievements of all the people they guided, who then, in turn, go on to guide others. This just goes to show you that mentorship is this living, breathing process. The relationship changes over time, learning starts to flow both ways, and most importantly, mentees become mentors themselves. And that's how you get this unbroken chain, this intergenerational transfer of knowledge, of values, and of progress that makes our whole society stronger.
Which really just leaves us with one final thought. This powerful cycle of guidance and growth, it isn't just something to read about in history books. It's something we can all be a part of. So the question isn't just about who shaped the past, but about our own role in the future. Who will you learn from, and who will you lift up?